think this is the worst I've looked in an intro in a very long time. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Savannah Smiles. So today we are doing one of my classic GRWM videos, which stands for Get Ready With Me video. Well, video's not in there, but you know what I mean. Anyways, for these types of videos, I do skincare, and then I also talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is going to be I lied. I'm gonna be talking about times in my life where I was not the most honest. It still haunt me at night. Anyways, I'm super excited to be getting into this video. I don't like making like crazy long intros and I don't like them to be over a minute, so let's get into this really quickly. I'm gonna show you my skincare products as we go, but if you don't know what it does, you're totally fine. Okay. Move it along, Macy, and editing. Come on, we're done with the intro. Do you guys have those stories where it's like, oh, you'll be standing in line for the grocery store, or can't sleep at night, or you'll wake up in the middle of the night and like, it haunts you? I have a lot of those for some reason. So here is attempt number 500 of me trying to explain my plans. So today is Tuesday, and tonight I booked out for Graham, Jeremy, his wife, and I to go to Herbs and Rye, which is like my favorite restaurant. I wanted to go to it last weekend when Kevin and Lauren were up here, but it just didn't end up working out. I have been telling Jeremy and his wife about this place for so long, and I'm really proud of myself too, because on Tuesday when we made these plans, I actually was the one who reached out and said, hey, I am booking for Graham and I to go to Herbs and Rye on Tuesday. Would you like to join? And so I ended up booking it for the four of us, and I'm like really proud of myself because I am so garbage at remembering to reach out to the people in my life. So I'm really excited for them, A, to get to experience this place because, as mentioned before, I love it, but also B, because I did something good. And that will maybe help alleviate today's topic, which is times I lied. Let me rinse this off and we'll actually get into the video. But I just wanted to give you some context on like, this is actually, I'm getting ready for something. So I really am about to be out here and just expose embarrassing things that probably are only embarrassing to me, but embarrassing nonetheless. I do have like my absolute, in my personal opinion, most embarrassing story, but I'm gonna save that for later. I was probably about 6 years old when the story happened, putting me in about first or second grade, but I can't tell you exactly how old I was. I don't know why this is, but I so vividly remember like in elementary school, especially those early years, kids getting sick a lot. I don't know if it's just like them not knowing their bodies well or like what they were eating at lunch, if it was like one of those things where, you know, kids get together and they swap around candy and then somebody ate just a whole bunch of candy, played, and then threw up. I have no idea why this is. That's the context you need for this. Anyways, I remember that this day, for whatever reason, my stomach was really upset. And I realized I was at lunch that I was gonna throw up, maybe about like a few seconds before. We were at lunch, the bathroom was nearby, so I just like left my lunch there and booked it over to the bathroom. I managed to get the bathroom door open without getting into any of the stalls and just threw up everywhere. This is so graphic. I am so sorry. I didn't tell anyone I threw up. I stayed for the rest of lunch, naturally, because I gotta hang out with my friends. And once I got back to class, I told my teacher that I threw up, and then so she sent me to the nurse's office, obviously. So I get to the nurse's office and she asked me, and this is one of those things I think is really validating to the fact that there was a lot of instances of kids throwing up. She asked me, where did I throw up? And I ended up telling her that I threw up in the bathroom by the lunch area. But I lied. I told her I made it to the toilet and threw up in the toilet. But I remember at that moment, I think it was like a minute or two later, I remember a janitor going by and then popping his head into the nurse's room and saying, hey, by the way, some kid threw up in the bathroom by the lunch area all over the floor. You might have someone come in here who threw up. I remember in the moment, I thought like, oh my gosh, they caught me. And then I was like, no, my lie was too brilliant. I told them I made it to the toilet. Now, the part that's haunting to me is obviously she knew I lied about making it to the toilet when I clearly did not, and I made a huge mess, and I felt really guilty about that. There also was a trash can directly outside of the bathroom, I want to point out, like 2 feet from it, so instead of trying to run into the bathroom, I could have thrown up in the trash can. Yeah, the lie and me thinking that I got away with that haunts me. I usually don't use this much of like exfoliation products. I can feel that my skin needs a little bit right now. I'm not gonna leave it on for as long as I normally would, but I just do feel like my skin needs a little bit of help. Anyways, the sun is going down right now. It's 6:30 right now, and that's what happens as it gets to night. So this next story is a lie that keeps me up at night, but it's like one of those where I'm like, was I really in the wrong? This one happened like maybe when I was in 5th or 6th grade. And I went to go stay up at my grandparents' house for a week or like 2 weeks during the summer because my parents were going out of town for their anniversary. One important key part to this story is that my grandparents are practicing members of the Church of Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ, also known as Mormons. And to answer your question that you're gonna ask me down below, no, I am not a part of this church at all. I gotta wash this off my face, 1 sec. Also on that same note, I would like to put a reminder out here to everyone watching this video that I don't support bashing any other religious beliefs down below in the comment section. So whether you are Mormon or you're not, I don't want you to be jumping on and attacking other people's comments. You are entitled to your own beliefs, but you should never push that on other people. We are trying to create a positive and welcoming environment here, not one of people being hurtful in the name of righteousness. Anyways, while I was up there, members of the LDS church tend to be very active within their church. So I ended up meeting a girl in one of these communities that was, I think she had to have been in 4th grade. So she was either like, I'm young for my grade, so she was either my age or a year younger, and I ended up hitting it off with her. So my grandma organized for me to be able to hang out with this girl, and conveniently she had a younger sister that was also close in age to my sister. So I go over there, and for whatever reason this girl was like really into Barbies and she wanted us to style the hair or whatever, and just like at the time that was not my vibe. So she wanted to do Barbies and do the hair, and one of them, like, she had left in a braid for a while, but I think she wanted it straight or I wanted the Barbie's hair straight. I don't really know. So we were in her mom's bathroom and I saw a straightener and I was like, oh, well, my mom uses that to straighten her hair, so it should work on the Barbie because human hair's got to be on the Barbie, right? So anyways, we end up grabbing the straightener, plugging it in, we try to use it on the Barbie, and either we held it there for too long or just whatever with the Barbie's hair, it kind of burnt onto the straightener. So immediately she's like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, well, let's turn it off and maybe not continue to do this. So I remember then she's like, well, my mother's gonna be so disappointed in me, I'm gonna get grounded. And I was like, why? And so she ended up telling me that, you know, we sinned or something. And granted, this is like little kid talk. So this very well could have just been her own perception of it. Anyways, so she was really upset and was like, well, why don't we just clean it and then we'll just not tell your mom? And she's like, well, you mean a lie? I'm like, well, if she asks you about it, then you answer it, but you don't need to answer it if you fix the problem. She went downstairs and she told her mom. I was not a bad behaved kid, by the way. Like, I was a very, very well behaved kid, but I remember my grandma coming to pick us up shortly afterwards, and then I didn't see her again for a few days, and she told me that she got grounded, and I don't know if that was really the case, if really I just told her, let's fix it, and just not mention anything, which I guess it's not lying, but it's also kind of a half truth, but also what did it matter? So where this one keeps me up at night is, was I really wrong in that situation? Was I the one being a bad influence? Was I a bad influence? So I think I'm gonna start on my last story, which is my most embarrassing story. And I'm really embarrassed of this one. So for this story, oh gosh, I'm almost out of vitamin C. No, I need more. Okay, gotta order some more vitamin C. So let me set the scene on this first story. I was 7 years old. So it was like sometime after my first story, but it's not like I was a lot older. And I was at home. It was during the school year and on a weekend, and my dad wanted to rent The Never Ending Story, and then we watched it. I think we rented it from Blockbuster actually, and we watched it like over and over and over that weekend. I remember seeing it like 2 or 3 times for some reason. I don't remember the actual movie that well, but I do remember there was something about like them walking through this frozen wasteland at the time, and I think there was something to do with eyebrows, like there was like water frozen to the eyebrows or something, and then like all of a sudden I noticed my eyebrows. These are my brows, not filled in. They can grow very thick. This is them very well maintained. I can pull my hair down like this and go, oh yes, this is the thickness of my hair. But I got really curious about my eyebrow thickness because even right now I can feel how much thicker all of the hair strands are than like my head hair. So anyways, I'm like feeling on that and I want to see it. And I'd also like to mention that I think this had to have been in like 2004, 2005 when like thin eyebrows were all the rage. And I had these really thick eyebrows. I didn't like them at the time. So with those kid safe scissors, most people have a story of cutting their hair. My story is of cutting my eyebrows. So I took my right eyebrow hair, twisted it into like a little twisty, and went and cut it down almost essentially to the skin. And I think if those weren't kid safe scissors, I probably would have like cut open my skin right there. So I saw the hairs and I was like, whoa, that's so weird. And then I went to my bedroom and I remember I had this mirror with like these wooden butterflies that were painted on it. So I'm looking at myself in this mirror, and I need to mention like my genetics are Italian. So I had like very Italian summer olive skin. And my eyebrows were so thick that the skin underneath was white. And I had this big old white slit right here in my eyebrow. I messed up so bad. So my genius brain was like, what can I do to hide it? I can cut bangs. Luckily my brain was like, no, what if I do it to the other side? So it just looks like my eyebrows have always been like that. Like a real freaking genius. So I grabbed those scissors, I run out there again, I'm like hiding from my mom. I think she was outside doing some yard work with my dad, so it was pretty easy for me. So I grab the scissors, run back to my butterfly mirror, I grab my hair, try to make sure it's in the same spot, and like cut it to be even. So now I have these 2 white eyebrow slits like right here. And so I do that and I'm like, okay, well this didn't work, so I'm just gonna not look at my mom for the next 6 months or anybody and make eye contact with anyone. It'll work out great. Immediately when my mom came into the house, I looked up at her and forgot I wasn't supposed to be making eye contact with her. I was supposed to keep looking at the floor forever. So my mom saw me and I kid you not, this was her reaction. I swear to goodness, even my dad and my mom, if I had them right here, they would say that's accurate. So my mom reacts like that. My dad runs in thinking like we're hurt or something, and then sees my eyebrows and he starts cracking up because he thinks it's hilarious. And my mom's freaking out and she's like asking me, you know, what did you do? Like, did you even look in the mirror? Whatever. She's really upset. I think she overreacted. I think she even knows now that she probably overreacted, but she took me over to a mirror and was like, look at what you did. Did you even look in a mirror? Remember earlier when I said that I made the second one look like the first in a mirror after seeing the first one in a mirror? And I'm terrified at this point, so I just told her, no, which was so stupid because like why even lie about that at that point? All right, so this is the final look. Obviously I look a lot more put together before this video, but it wouldn't be a get ready with me if I looked put together before going into it. So I'm super excited for dinner tonight. I know there's definitely a lot more times I have lied about stupid things. So if you guys want a part 2 to this, definitely let me know. But anyways, that was the video. Comment down below any like stories that you have of when you lied, but it was over something silly and it keeps you up late at night. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this. Don't forget to smash the YouTube algorithm for the like button if you liked this video, and only if you liked this video and want a part 2. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And with that said, don't forget to end the video in the middle of a